I'm Rich from Shiva Shack, and I had a request from my friend David out on the left coast, California, about downward facing dog. So this is a tutorial on how to make best friends with your down dog. So in down dog, the foundation are the hands and the feet, and the weight is forward in the hands, and to find balance in the pose, we have to somehow manage to push all the weight equally into the feet. So we start with the pose with the hands, which means the placement of the hands is very important. So the hands, if you place them down on the floor here with me, if you're in seated pose with me, if you see the wrists, I'm going to turn to the fringe of the mat so that you can see kind of from the side here. With my hands here, if I turn my wrists in and make the wrists more parallel to the fringe of the mat, that could be a good placement for my hands. Some people like wrists parallel to the fringe of the mat. That I've seen it practiced this way. Some people like it this way. I like mine a little bit more so that the index fingers are more parallel to each other and the wrists are slightly turned out, the fingers are turned out and open a little bit. I think as long as you just don't overdo it too much, and this is why. So if the hands are turned in too much, and I take my arms up and over, and you see my shoulders now, you can see if I rest my arms down, this is the shoulder placement. So with the hands, again, wrists parallel, or with them turned slightly open, I can now set my shoulders, lift my arms up and straighten the arms, and then set the shoulders. And this is ultimately what we would like to see in our arms and our shoulder placement in our down dog. So less this way in the shoulders and the tops of the arms, and more pulling the arms in using our lats, latissimus dorsi, and the serratus anterior muscles, and those are the muscles that pull the arms into the body. So we want to depress the shoulders, and then set the elbows straight. And then from the side here, on the inhalation, there's a lot going on here, and it kind of starts like the up dog on the inhalation. So that's why we do maybe the up dog first, we pull it up here. So on the inhalation, I'm going to set my hands just above my head as they would be in the down dog position here. Let's say I'm in down dog. And if I start my inhalation, let's say my shoulders are, so my shoulders up to the ears, I'm going to start to push forward through the fingers, and with my palms flat, I'm going to pull my chest up to the chin, but I have to watch out for these ribs poking forward, because I got to pull it back. All right, so the tailbone draws into the pubic bone. There's a slight curling of the hips back in the down dog here. I shift my tailbone under a little bit and pull the whole frame of my hips back into space simultaneously, just like a real dog in the down dog. Right? So on the inhalation, the hips go back, tailbone draws into the coccyx, into the pubic bone, coccyx into the pubic bone, and then ribs and belly pull back, and the hands and the feet lift the spine away from the floor. So that's the inhalation. It's a pulling, like if I'm in up dog, if you just take your hands forward and just pull your chest up like your hands are on the floor, this is the inhalation in your up dog. Rather than just kind of pushing the floor back into your shoulders, into your hips, and into your heels. You know, we get kind of strong up in this area. So we actually want to inhale and pull it up, flatten the side of the body, make the line of energy nice and straight on the inhalation. And on the exhalation, you can move into that space. The head and chest drop down a little bit. So we'll take it to the wall space, then we'll show you a nice exercise on how to work your down dog in all fours, first from standing at the wall dog, and then we'll hit the floor for the last part. All right, so we're here at the wall for wall dog here. Go ahead and lay down. Can you lay down? Good girl. Good girl. And we're going to start here the way we described earlier in seated. So with the feet apart, not too far back, and the hands anywhere above the shoulders here. So it's different from the box pose. If you're familiar with the box, that's a different pose. This is the wall dog. I'm going to lift and spread the toes here to start, find the weight distributed equally on the feet and the legs here. I'm just going to charge those up, and then we'll look at my hands here and make sure the hands aren't turned in at all. Maybe turned forward, turned out a little bit, and I'm going to start to open up the fingers and imagine I have to hold up this wall here. I'm going to push the fingers forward and up, but with the palms now, I'm going to lift the chest up with an inhalation. And I'm going to watch those ribs poking forward. I'm going to pull those back as I draw the tailbone down so the whole body lifts away from the wall and up. I'm going to set the shoulders apart. I'm going to look down at my belly here. I'm going to push my hips back and let my head and chest kind of sink into that space. So now I'll do it here, looking at my navel. Inhale, tailbone down, ribs and belly back. I push down into my hands, straighten the arms, spread the shoulders, and then exhale, just drop into that space a little deeper perhaps. But without collapsing the shoulders in, I keep that nice and separated, and the arms and legs strong. Inhale, tailbone down, ribs and belly back. Head and chest pull straight up and lengthening through the spine. You might feel that in your belly, all the way up through your back. And then exhale, release into that space. And I'm just going to do it one more time with the shirt folded back so you can see the ribs here. And again, this is kind of one of those games in down dog that you can play. Inhale, make the line, straight line in the body. Chest comes up, set the shoulders, lengthen up, chin down, head back. And then exhale, drop into that space. I'll do one more breath. Inhale. Hips back, head and chest down. Exhale. Okay, so now from the floor, in a very easy dog, sukha pose. So you can bend your elbows and just check your hands out here for a moment. I'm going to spread the fingers nice and wide, make sure the hands are correct. Now I'm going to start to push forward through the fingers and the palms down flat, less in the base of the wrists and the hands, and that's good therapy for your wrists, just staying off of them. I'm going to set the shoulders back here and straighten out the legs. Now I'm not in a very long dog yet, just kind of feeling it out. I'm going to look at my navel here. You can also look at your toes, ankles, knees, or thighs. And I'm going to start to pull it up. Set the shoulders and inhale, chest comes up, tailbone draws down towards the heels and the hips move back into space, lifting the spine up, the ribs and belly up away from the floor without pushing the shoulders too far up towards the ears. And on the exhalation, I'm going to drop in. Inhale, tail down, chest up and lengthen. Set the shoulders, strong arms, maybe heels down and lift and spread your toes. And exhale. And there you go. Downward facing dog.